guys, it's Christina and I am in Seoul, home of K-drama, K-beauty, K-pop. But today I will be showing you the Seoul Vegan Guide. Okay, so today we are in the Insadong area and we are going to OCA Gate Hum, which is this vegetarian restaurant right here. And I checked out the menu earlier, and what's cool about this place is that they'll actually turn traditional Korean dishes into vegan dishes as opposed to, you know, your normal Western meals. So let's go check it out. This restaurant was one of my favorites. When you go inside, you feel like it's somebody's home. You have like the TV sets, you sit on the ground, you're able to see kind of inside the kitchen, and everything was just so comforting and homey, and the food was delicious. This was vegan Korean food, which is what I aim to find in other countries, and you know, not just finding falafels or salad, but actual Korean food. And they had such a diverse menu. You guys are really going to love this one. Oh, this is a very good restaurant. So I'm just trying out the different dishes right now. That tofu kimchi stew, not too spicy, but the spice does hit you a little afterwards, and it's nice and hot and really comforting. Also got this, it's supposed to be like a Korean barbecue and rice, and I thought that it would be more in the style of like Korean BBQ with a side of rice, but this also has like cabbages. It also has some carrots in there as well, and then this sauce that they poured over reminds me more of like a Chinese dish instead, where you have kind of like a vegetable and meat stir fry with a sauce that you put. Yeah, it's more Chinesey. It's less intense than most Korean sauces. It's comforting. Nothing is too strong, and I like that there's like a mix of seitan meat as well as mushrooms. It's actually like the softer and the spongier kind. In general, it's a nice mixture of texture. It's a nice mixture of flavor too. And then when you're talking about the jajang noodles, it's quite nice as well. I'd say it's not too salty, so I could do with maybe a little bit of salt. The noodles are on the softer side of things, and in terms of the sauce itself, it is a bit sweet, a bit savory, very much like normal jajangmyeon sauce. The base of it, I think that they have a little bit of, it doesn't taste like seitan, it tastes like vegetables, cut up vegetables, and mushrooms make up the base of this sauce. Quite nice. Fish cakes. There's like little flecks of vegetable in it. It's a nice bite. I think it's kind of like konjac jelly-esque. Okay, so I am here at Sancheon Temple food, and temples are a really big thing here in Korea. There's a lot of them. You can also stay there as well, but this one is also started by one of the monks as well, and he cooks a lot of the traditional temple food, so everything is vegan. I think it could be maybe a little bit pricey as well, because they only do set menus. So I'm here for lunch right now, and I'm pretty excited. So it can be fairly pricey, but there's actually there's 16 different courses on this menu, and I might not go through all of it with you guys, but the first one that we're starting with is just some seasonal porridge. There's some kimchi. There's actually like a plate of different seaweeds prepared in different ways. So I think everybody gets a soup, and then this is like a seaweed. Looks like scallops, but obviously it's not scallops. This is some of that wood ear mushroom, I think. This looks like some kind of a puffed, like a crunchy puff thing. And there's some fried seaweed that's been battered in tempura. And then here is some lotus root. Interesting. Okay. Check it out. How pretty does that look? Kimchi, maybe mugwort soup.
Pancake. Mushroom seed.
Oh,
Mushroom.
sweet. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Mix.
Oh, mixed. Okay. Thank you. Sweet mushrooms with some seaweed. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. This is white fungus mushroom, so that's why. Okay, so this pancake is almost like it's just like a rice flour based pancake, and then inside is just some cabbage, and they didn't really flavor it at all, which is it's actually quite nice because it's not salty. It's just really different. So.
Rice here.
Okay. 감사합니다. Final, the soup. So this is you're kind of mimicking bibimbap, because here's the dolsot. And you just kind of get a little bit of everything. I am really impressed by this place. I love temple food. I love seeing their interpretation of it. You know, a majority of these things, they taste really clean. It's not like overly spiced or overly salted, and yet each of the dishes do have their own flavors. They do have their own personalities. The textures from the greens, so it's just really nice. I really recommend this place. So today I'm at Maru Jayeon Sik, and it is just like a really small casual eatery that is actually right underneath the kimchi museum. So I was really surprised to find this place. Everything is just really just a couple of dollars, between $3 to $5. Just like a really inexpensive place to get something nice to eat that happens to be, you know, pretty Korean as well. So what I've actually ordered today is just a basic gimbap roll. I can see from the inside that it is, you can choose actually between vegan ham or tofu. There's some greens, there's some carrots, and there's some mushrooms. So it's actually pretty hearty. And then I got a ramen as well because it's really cold out. It's just a basic like spicy ramen. I think that they just made it out of the package, but it's also quite nice as well. It's right around $3, and they add in little pieces of the fried tofu pieces for you. It's quite nice. What else did I get? I got some udon. This is sounding more like a Japanese menu, doesn't it? Except for the gimbap. But I have some udon noodles. That's just really nice and clean. For those of you who don't like things too spicy and you just want it nice and clean, like a bowl of warm noodles, that's going to be a really good option for you guys. And there's also little bits of the fried tofu up on top. And then finally, wanted to show you guys these. So I don't know if it's new on the menu because they actually have it taped up on the window, but these are the fried soy chicken nuggets. So it's basically like really crunchy pieces of chicken nuggets that they have tossed in it's like a semi-spicy, almost like a ketchup-y sauce. It's not too spicy at all. So very crunchy. It's quite nice. It just reminds me of like a soft kind of seitan on the inside that's been fried. And then of course, because this is Korea, with your meal you also get 2 of the Korean sides. So we have a little bit of kimchi here, and then a little bit of the daikon radish. You can get a whole meal for a really inexpensive price. So if you're here with family, if you're here with, you know, friends after visiting the kimchi museum, this is definitely a pretty nice place to visit. Oh boy. So this is a bit of an interesting place because the owner told me that she was actually sick
and she was about to close down the restaurant. It's right now about 7 on a Tuesday, so maybe they weren't expecting too many people. So I came down. The husband was nice enough to literally open up the whole restaurant, and they just put everything. So it's actually a buffet style restaurant. So she came out with all of these different tubs and filled up the little vats with all of these different greens. And she was so nice, because I was really apologetic. And she was like, no, not at all. And like within 2 minutes, she whipped out this, it's like a green pancake. It's actually so good. I don't think it's spinach. I think maybe it's like mugwort or kind of like a Korean green, but it's so good. It's not oily at all, and she did that in minutes. My plate is filled with all of the different greens that she put out, and check this guy out. Have you seen this before? Right? It's like a huge bean sprout, and she actually said that these are actually peanut sprouts. So you can actually see the big piece of peanuts there. She was like, oh, where did you find us? You know, and I told her, Happy Cow, and she's very cool. So yeah, most everything here, I mean, it registers as a vegetarian restaurant, but I think most of everything is vegan. The course starts off with tea. I think it's like a honey water tea, and then they bring out a red bean soup, as well as like a green-based soup as well. That was just, it was actually really nice. It was savory, but just with like a slight bit of tang. So I'm really happy that we came. Again, it's buffet style, $13 per person, and it's a very casual atmosphere. But I think what makes it really fun is like the mom and pop dynamic, and how the mom is also like your mom or like anybody else's mom, and she's super inviting and super nice. Sometimes there are so many different varieties of Korean greens, I don't even know what to call them. A lot of the times I think that they marinate it with like, I think this one has a little bit of like a tahini type flavor to it, but a lot of the times they marinate it with just like salt, maybe a little bit of soy sauce, sesame oil as well. So today I am eating at a really special place. It's called Bao Quyen, and it serves kind of like upscale temple cuisine, and I think it may be one of the only temple food places that actually has a Michelin star, but it is a treat because the prices are a little bit higher. You can always come for lunch, and it's $30 per person, but it has like a bunch of courses. If you come for dinner, they have about 4 different sets that you can choose from, and they all have like really nice names, like nice kind of calming Buddhist names to them. So I'm really excited. I'm kind of getting something middle of the line today. There's going to be a bunch of courses, so I can't wait to take you guys through literally everything. They're so fragrant. the last restaurant I'm taking you to is a very Western one called Plant. And they serve burgers, they have tempeh, they have pasta and spaghetti. And the reason is because if any of you are as lucky as I was and got to spend, 2 weeks or longer in Seoul, eventually you kind of get sick of Korean food. And I never thought that I would say that myself, but you do. And in this area that Plant is in, there were actually a couple of like Mexican restaurants as well that also had some vegan options. And this was just a very chill spot. It has cake and it opens until 9 p.m., so quite late. And Seoul is quite a late city as well. So that's it for me, girls and guys. I'm gonna put some tips in the description box down below, including kind of your best map apps, because Google does not really work in Korea, and just some tips on when you're ordering food, because Seoul and Asia in general is definitely one of those places that sometimes you do have to be a little bit more flexible when you visit, if you do want to be eating outside on the streets or in the restaurants. So I hope you all have enjoyed watching this guide.